Hello and welcome back to the Wrexham Way. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode, as I think we might have a mini transfer special here today. It's very exciting. I've made some signings already, we've sold some players, and hopefully we'll see a couple more additions to the team as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about today. So first of all, make sure you do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. We're going to start off by looking at what's happened since you guys were last here. And you guys were last here for the win against Portsmouth and the win against West Brom. And I tell you what, it's been phenomenal, at least for the next 3 games. We won 5 games in a row if you include the games from last episode. We started off with a monumental 6-1 victory over Nottingham Forest. One of the best games we've played all season, a really good team performance. And also a really good team performance in a 2-0 win against Birmingham, keeping a very rare clean sheet in that game. Our first clean sheets for, in fact, is that our first clean sheet? Nearly our first clean sheet of the season. Our first clean sheet in the league since the 3rd day of the season against Stoke. I mean, that is monumental, isn't it? So we don't keep many clean sheets, but we kept one there against Birmingham, which was great. We then beat Portsmouth 2-1 away from home, and with that win, it actually temporarily put us 5th in the Championship table. We have since dropped down following a 3-2 loss to Peterborough and a 2-1 loss to Preston. But Bournemouth in the FA Cup 3rd round, they put out a very weak team, which we took advantage of, and we beat them 3-2. And that has set us up with an FA Cup 4th round tie away from home to Manchester United, which will come up in the next episode. That is going to be a payday for us. If that sells out and we get half the gate receipts for it, we're in the money basically for a 4th round tie. But I am very pleased with how we've been playing recently, and if you include the 3 draws we had at the end of November, we were actually 8 games unbeaten for a little while, which is mind-blowing, monumental for a club like us. Don't expect that to happen again anytime soon, I don't think. We've been very lucky and in a good vein of form here, but I think as we play against Watford today, a decent club, Swansea in the future, Bournemouth in the future, Charlton, who are actually bottom of the table, but they are pretty decent still, I think things could change a little bit. But the table is looking very healthy for us. We are currently 9th on 41 points, 3 shy of last season's total. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to be near the relegation zone this season, and I'm pretty sure we're going to eclipse the total points we got last season. So for me, that's fantastic. Really happy, even if we do finish miles off the playoffs. Also, really good to see a few of our players popping up here in the player stats. So Adam Thomas Parry, the 3rd highest average rating in the league this season. He's been absolutely superb with 6 Player of the Match awards to his name, which is no mean feat as a centre-back. Also, Gavin Mcparlin, who plays on the right wing for us, he's got 9 assists this season. Sadly, he won't be adding many more of them at the moment because he's out for another 7 to 10 weeks with a broken ankle. We are missing him quite dearly. But we have been able to get by without him because we've made some signings. We've also sold some players too, and I think we'll talk about the sold players first. So we've said goodbye to Ruben Colwill. The young 23-year-old attacking midfielder didn't really find himself having a place in the team this season, which was a bit sad to be fair, because he was a decent player for us last season, but I think only made 5 appearances total this season, which is correct. We sold him to Bologna for £325,000, which seems like a pretty decent sum of money for a player who wasn't really playing much for us. We've also got rid of the, well, just kind of forgotten about Gethin Jones. We signed him to be a backup defender for us, or backup right back for us, and he was backup. Played how many games last season? 16 in all competitions, 5 in all competitions this season. He's gone to Burton Albion for £50,000. I think that was pretty reasonable given how far down the pecking order he was. And then, although he's not gone permanently, Jem Finley has gone to Crewe on loan for the rest of the season to try and get promoted to the Championship. They're currently 2nd in League One, as you can see on the screen just there, which is very good. So hopefully he'll help them get promoted. But the reason he's gone out on loan is because we've brought in a centre midfielder. We've done it. I bought him. The young 19-year-old Slovakian centre midfielder, Martin Statura, he's joined the club. And actually, for a really nice fee of £93,000, which I'm very happy about. Picked him up from Victoria Pleasant, and you can see he is a very talented player. His mentals are what really impressed me the most, I must say. Some decent physicals, decent technicals, but at 19 years old, he will only get better and better. Currently a Championship standard player, but with 5 stars of potential and only 19 years old, with a good personality too. I think could become a Premier League player for us. And then, of course, because Gethin Jones has left to as a right back, we're hopefully going to get rid of 2 centre-backs. Aaron Casey has come in on loan from Liverpool to essentially be a player who can just go anywhere in the back line. Plays with both feet, can go right back and left back or centre back. He just seems like the perfect utility man to come in. He's in on loan from Liverpool, which means we get him for absolutely free because they're our affiliate club, so no money being paid for him. He should be a pretty decent player to have around the club. I mean, according to this, our best right back, I don't think that's quite strictly true. I think Paul is probably a little bit better than him at right back, and because Paul's our player, we'll play him more often. Aaron Casey, definitely a worthy addition to the team. So they are all the moves that have happened so far. Hopefully Aaron Hayden will be leaving the club very shortly. Not for a fee. Clubs are bidding £0 for him, which is not great. But considering that he's not playing for us at all, he's a bit of a burden. We just want to get him off the wage bill. And sadly, Harry Lennon. No one wants him. He has been a superb servant for the club, but we've got to get rid of him. Yes, he's had absolutely incredible average ratings every single season, being a star man in our championship side last season. But despite the average ratings, we have to listen to the attributes that are declining. And he's also on £4,500 a week, which is a lot of money. Now, sadly, he came to me actually and said, can I leave the club? And I said, yeah, of course, leave the club. Sadly, every time I offer him out, no one wants him. Offer the clubs for £0, no one wants to buy him, which I don't quite understand given that he has recently won National League Player of the Year, League 2 Player of the Year, and League 1 Player of the Year. So there's been a little bit of change in and around the squad. You'll also notice actually there's a bid on the table for Paul Mullin, which I might accept because his contract will expire at the end of the season. I'm happy to let him go, but only if we can bring in some more strikers. And that's what I want to try and do. This chap has come up on some scout reports, and whilst we don't know too much just yet, I'm loving the look of him. He could be the perfect the perfect second man, the perfect second striker, the perfect deep lying striker essentially. He's got really good heading, really good passing, good technique, finishing a little bit low, but that's fine because if he plays as like a deep lying forward or a target forward, it's exactly what we need in him. Contracted currently to Mulder, available between £275,000 and £2.8 million, 18 years old, championship level, Premier League potential. It just depends how much they want for him. And this is where it could get a little bit tricky because we have currently £1.5 million in the transfer budget. Loads in the wage budget. We could potentially move some over. The thing is, I think they're going to want a lot of money. This says transfer value of 275 to 2.8. But I think they're going to want an awful lot more. So let's ask his agent. Hello, agent. How much would it cost us to bring him into the club? And to be fair, he actually says he has no interest in joining us, which does scupper things a little bit. Well, let's just suggest £275,000, and to be fair, they come back with 6 million plus, so we can't afford him. Should have checked that before the episode, before I embarrassed myself putting a bid in for him. So that kind of scuppers the plans a little bit. Maybe we do hold on to Paul Mullin for the rest of the season. Another striker that I'm really keen to sign is this guy, who I can't pronounce, but he does look good. The issue with him is that he's just signed a new contract with Dinamo Zagreb, so would not be interested in signing one with us. And his contract was literally signed like 2 weeks ago, as you can see there. So we might have to wait until summer to grab him. But I'm slowly starting to get a list of players that I want for next season. This Rav van der Berg, who currently plays for Pek Zwolle, he's available to sign on a free. He currently doesn't want to sign for us, but by the end of the season, we're going to whittle him down. As a temporary measure, there is this guy available, Latoro Ovando, who is a young striker at Liverpool who we could get in on loan. Probably not the player I want to get in on loan, but if we want to try and make some money from Paul Mullin, I think it's a good idea to bring him in on loan to be our backup striker. Although he does look pretty decent, particularly with his ratings here in the Premier League too. Like first in a lot of metrics, good in the Championship. Like he could be good. So let's make an offer, trying to get him on loan. Although Liverpool want 90% of his wages being paid. Right. Well, that won't work. There is this guy at Brentford who comes up as well, who is also good for the Championship. But I wanted to go Liverpool because I thought we'd get him for free. Brentford have a history of charging me a lot of money, And this is no exception. It would be a lot of money to bring him in, which would just negate selling Mullin because we'd just spend more money on this guy. So the idea to try and bring a striker in today is, it's not gone well, has it? I think unless something mental comes up, we probably hold on to Mullin. But it's fine because it could give us some money to bring in Biro on a permanent deal. It's something that I really want to do. The thing is, I think as he plays well for us, Corinthians are going to want more and more money. I think last time we put an offer in, it was this. No, it wasn't quite this. This looks different to me. I feel like we had like a £2.5 million deal on the table. This is a lot more than that. If we get rid of the profit, because I must have tried to negotiate with them at some point after the last time I negotiated with them and it didn't really work out properly. This is kind of what they want as a minimum, is it? I mean, if we could put... I'd be happy to pay $3 million for him, maybe. Would I? He's Championship right now, Premier League potential, really, and Brazilian, which is great. I kind of want to get rid of that one there. If we could go to 1 million, 2 million, 2.5 million. Suggest... They want 1.2... They want more, don't they? Again, bring this down to 1.1... 1.2, 600k, that's still 2.9 million. 2.8, call it 2.8 if we go to 1.1, 1.1. And they put more money in per league appearance. Oh, look, come on, get out of here. 1.1, 1.2, 600k to make 700k to make it 3 million total. They accept that. Right. Have I just maybe put a bid for a player for £3 million down? Now, is this sensible? I think so. I think it is sensible. He's 21. He's got Brazil under 20 caps, to be fair. So if we improve him a little bit more, he could be a Brazilian international. He is very good down the entire left-hand side of the pitch, which is so useful and versatile, especially if he does get to that Premier League potential, because that would be so good for us when we get to the Premier League at some point. Yeah, it would be our biggest outlay ever. And our current bank balance is, it'd be a sizable hit to our bank balance. But I think it might be worthwhile. Anyway, let's move away from that. Let's get into the game away from home against Watford. And this is the team that I think is going to be winning the game for us today. We've got Chris Johns in goal with a backline of Kazawa, Oliver Street, Thomas Parry and Pole. Currently, Apo Halm is injured out for another 3 weeks or so, potentially, on there it says. Biro playing on the left wing with McGlynn and Webster linking up in the centre of midfield, and then new boy Statura starting on the right wing. He's normally centre mid and will be our deep line playmaker, but given we've got the injuries to, where is he, down here somewhere, injuries to Mcparlin's, he will probably play on the right wing for now. And then up front we have Escobar and Paul Mullin, which is actually quite exciting. Mullin's been scoring plenty of goals recently. He's up to 9 for the season, Escobar on 10 and George Alexander on 12. They're all playing well, so hopefully that continues. So as kickoff is upon us here today, can we get back to winning ways? Watford currently below us in the table by a single place and 1 point behind us. So this is really a tough game as Mullin puts the ball in towards Thomas Parry. Escobar heads it at the far post, and I think he sort of got in the way of the ball. It was a poor header from Escobar, should have gone into the back of the net, but the keeper made the save there, which is rather frustrating. We've got another corner though. Kazawa puts it into the middle, cleared by the defenders, and who's going to get there first? Thomas Parry does, using his pace to get there ahead of the Watford player. He plays it into Webster, who gets it forward to Mullin, who finds Escobar in the area. Oh, we've been so unlucky today. His first header should have gone the back of the net, straight at the keeper. This time off the crossbar, and I can just see a Watford 90th minute winner coming. You hate to see it. Also, a ball being put in the middle by Watford right now, cleared by Pole, and can we get on a counter-attack? Right, here comes Mullin, looking to try and create some space. Goes back to Pole, who puts the ball back up to Mullin, who's in behind the defence. Right. Did you not see, off the ball, Escobar being tripped over, barged over? Why have Watford not been given a red card for that? Otherwise, that was a certain goal for Escobar. Mullin, because he's on the floor, had to then shoot, and he hits the crossbar himself. I mean, we may have been very lucky to get 8 games in a row unbeaten. I feel like that looks run out, and now the bad luck's coming. Luckily, that was wide of the post for us. I mean, if we keep playing like we've been playing in this first half, it's going to be good. Surely one of our shots will eventually go in the back of the net. We've been very unlucky so far. 1 off the line, 2 off the crossbar. But I feel like the luck has run out, and it's going to be a good day for Watford as they come forward towards the end of this first half. Obliakov, former CSK Moscow player that I had in around the block actually at one point. That's a bit of weird trivia from the TomFM channel, as they don't score luckily. They've not got their shooting boots on because that was a very easy chance for them. And so at half-time, I do feel a little bit aggrieved, I must say. Thrash the arms, far from pleased from what I've seen from this team, although I am quite pleased with the chances we've created, just not that we finished them. Hopefully in the second half, we do an awful lot better with the form and momentum that we are in right now. We need to make the most of it before things start to go badly at the end of the season. Somehow, none of that went in the back of the net, and there was not a penalty in there at all. I honestly don't quite know what's going on at either end of the pitch, in either goal mouth, because there should be goals and there's not. There should have been penalties for both teams, and there haven't been penalties for both teams. This game's a madness, really, isn't it? Mullin on the ball, back to Pole. The highlight is finishing. Okay, fair enough. Blimey, I feel like I can't keep up. This is a very, very bizarre game right now, with some players not playing particularly well, other players playing brilliantly for us. It's a little bit confusing, but I think with half an hour or so to go, what we might do is take the tired McGlynn off. No, swap him with... Can he... he can't really play there, can he? I kind of want to move Statura into the middle. And then we get McGlynn off for Bryce Hosanna, which kind of works maybe. Mullin's going to come off, although he's actually not that tired. We'll swap him with Escobar, and Escobar comes on for Alexander, off for Alexander. Or they probably prefer to be the way around, don't they? Because Alexander's taller. He's 5'10". How tall is Mullin? Mullin is 5'10". Okay. Who's got better heading? 10 heading. Alexander's got 9 heading. So, based on that, Mullin will be the target forward. But now is a free kick for Watford. On the edge of a D in the 66th minute. It's going back. It's going on top of the net. Yeah. After everything, I feel so hard done by there. A simple free kick in the top corner. Not top of the net, as I was trying to say. Oh, it's not even top corner, is it? Actually, it's a very good free kick bending away from the keeper, I must be honest with you. But that's frustrating, given how I feel like we should be winning this game, based on the chances that we've seen so far in this game, which has been rather frustrating. Obviously, we should have the ability to get a goal back in this game, but when it's been against us like it has been, particularly when we've seen good saves from Chris Johns like that, when we've seen ourselves hit the crossbar a couple of times, you just kind of know it's going to be that sort of day. Particularly now, with a Watford corner, cleared from the back, but only as far as the corner kick taker. Can we win it high up the pitch? Will there be a mistake from the Watford players? Not yet, at least, as they look to bring it forward back into our half. Although we are keeping them right on the halfway line pretty much. Nice pressing play from us. Back to the keeper once again. I still feel like the keeper's going to make a mistake, but he's not made a mistake this time around. Again, back to the keeper. Surely there's going to be a mistake at some point. Maybe that's the mistake. The hoofed ball up to Kazawa is collected back to Chris Johns, who hoofed it up to Byro. Byro plays a great ball into Webster, and we're now in a one-on-one situation where we've got the goal. I thought that was going wide. I don't know why I didn't pass it either, but Webster gets himself on the score sheet. 10 minutes to go. We're back to level pegging, which is fantastic. It was this moment here. We've got 4 players, basically. At this point, pass. He didn't pass. He took the shot. He scored the goal. And maybe a draw is the correct result. I do feel a little bit aggrieved, given the chances that we've seen today hit the crossbar or cleared off the line. Another day, we probably would have won this game, and maybe we still will, as Mullin comes forward down the left-hand side of the attack. Can he get a ball into the middle? He does. Alexander Hosanna. It's not really turned into anyone in the end, as it's now a counter-attack for Watford with bodies forward in space. Can we just stop the ball arriving in the middle? No, we can't. Okay, I think we've both had 2 chances off the woodwork now, so I feel like that's level pegging. I feel like a draw is the correct result, and that was a bit of a roller coaster, wasn't it? So with that result, we stay 9th in the table, and actually we draw level on points with Stoke, and we're only 3 points behind Ipswich now. So all in all, actually, a pretty good game week for us. Oh, but what's not good is that immediately Byro, doesn't want to join the club. I think we had this issue last time. I think last time he didn't want to talk to us. Look, we'll get him at some point. Maybe by the end of the season, he might be happy to join us or something like that. But this is annoying. Not to worry, though, because here is another player that I quite like the look of. Mikhail Jacobson is a left winger. And again, we don't know all that much about him right now, but it does have Premier League potential. Now, we could wait to see if the scouts come back and say he's worth signing. But this is a January transfer special, and so far, no signings have been made because everyone keeps rejecting us. So I'm determined to try and sign someone at least. Now, this player is valued at £325,000 up to 3.2 million. What does his agent reckon he's valued at? Transfer status, the exact value. Okay, right, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? But he does want to join the team at least, which is good. So let's make an offer. I'll tell you what, let's be generous and put £500,000 on the table. Suggest, and they come back with 2.5 million, which I'm not prepared to pay because I'm not. Second time around, let's make sure we go percentage of profit from next sale, remove and exclude from negotiations. Let's put £500,000 down now and then add an instalment, 2 instalments over 12 months each of £500,000. So £1 million total. I'd be prepared to pay that. And they come back and say, no, 2 million. It's too much, lads. How about 600 and 600, 1.2 million. They come back and say they want 1.9. Well, I'm going to say 1.4. And I don't want to go much higher than that. And they say they want more than that. We can go 1.5. 1.5 million. Which they don't want. How about 1.6 then? 1.6 million. Which they agree to. Okay. Finalise the offer. Although I might cancel it because we don't know much about him just yet. And there could be some better value players out there. And this could be quite a dumb decision potentially. But the contract is on the table. Let's start negotiations with it. He wants a big wage rise. He can't have it. Squad player, regular starter is good. I'm happy with that. And it's a very reasonable contract. Now, he's locked in a release fee clause. We can put it up to 7.5 million and lock that in to make sure he can't change it. We will need to get rid of some of these future ways for him to make money because we hate players making money at this club, which might mean we have to put his wage up to £2,000 a week and bring the agent fee up a little bit too. And just, yeah, let's try that. He wants more money. I hate to see it. Get rid of that. International cap bonus. Yeah, you can have that because I don't think you're going to get many international caps if I'm honest with you. Bring some of those down. 2.2 grand a week. He's happy. But thinking about that, we also have our own Tyson Allen, who I forgot about actually a little bit. He can play left wing, which is quite good for us. Currently on loan at Wycombe. And, we can't recall him from loan. Okay, well, that's not ideal. I don't know. I feel like things haven't gone quite so well, which is not great. And this Paul Mullin thing's coming back to me. We're not signing a striker, apparently, because we just can't get one to sign for us. So, although it would be nice to get some money for him before he leaves at the end of the season when his contract expires, it is this season, isn't it? His contract expires. It is. It would be nice to get some money for him. I don't want to go into the rest of the season with only 2 strikers. I need 3 strikers, so I'm going to have to reject this. So I feel like the transfer special today has, not gone that well, if I'm honest with you. Not that it was meant to be a transfer special, because we're only doing a couple of days in this, and it was just going to try and sign some players. We have already signed some players as well, to be fair, but we are even struggling to get rid of players, because Aaron Hayden has rejected the contracts from Bolton, Fleetwood and Notts County. Right, well, what do we do? Before we finish up, I've been told about this goalkeeper from Lokomotiva in Croatia, currently on loan from Dinamo Zagreb. Okay? Currently, according to our scouts, championship level Premier League potential. We do need a new keeper, and maybe this is the guy for it. I've just asked his agent if he's available, and he is between £700,000 and 7.2 million, so this could be tricky. But I'd maybe rather bring this guy in than the winger that we're trying to pay for. So, before we finish things up today, let's just put an offer on the table of £725,000. What do they come back with? 7.5 million. Okay, well, that's not going to work. If only we just had, like, I don't know, 50 million to spend. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? I think, though, we are going to finish things up here today before any other disasters happen. I'll let you know what we do with that left winger, because I would like to bring him in, but I'm maybe not feeling that. I need to know more about him first, basically. And I'd probably rather try and save the money for Biro as well. It's a tough situation. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I will see you next time for the Man United game in the FA Cup. Going to be very, very exciting. And of course, all the updates on the transfers, if there are, of course, any more transfers at all. But until then, have a lovely evening. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.